When cooking and eating, I always want to really try and find myself the best ingredients possible. After all, a dish is only as good as the ingredients, which is why Discover the Origin is such a great concept. It ensures a wonderful provenance of ingredients. And here are my two wonderful ingredients, Parmigiano Reggiano and delicious Parma ham. Now, before I muck around with these things, I want to taste them in their trueness. First, the ham. Wonderfully dense, sweet, slightly salty. You can tell that that was a happy pig. And now for a little bit of the Parmigiano Reggiano. This Parmesan is really, really special stuff. It has an incredibly deep flavour. Again, a slight sweetness, a wonderful saltiness, a real kind of twang. And it's very, very savoury, almost meaty. That is a really exceptional ingredient. Two wonderful things that really don't want to be meddled with too much, so I'm including them in a very, very simple recipe. This beef tartare with Parma ham and Parmigiano Reggiano will go very well with a good wine. But to know what that good wine should be, I'm going to ask Christina. Christina.
Hi there, Valentine. I'm good, I'm good.
I've got beef, I've got capers, walnut oil, this fantastic ham and Parmesan. So what would you suggest with a little starter like this?
You've got a lot of great flavors going on here. So it's up to me really to match a wine that's not going to overpower the dish, and also vice versa. I don't want the dish to overpower the wine.
Are you thinking red or white or?
I'm thinking red for this one. I think you know, that age-old rule of red meat with red wine usually tends to stand, but I don't want to do anything too big and too heavy because, as I say, it is still a fairly delicate dish. So I don't want to overpower it too much.
So something quite light or?
Yeah, light to medium, I would say. Nothing huge.
So you've got quite a lot to think about.
I do, but believe it or not, there's quite a few styles I can think of that would work well. There's one style in particular, though, I think, which would be perfect with this dish.
And what would that be?
I can't let you know now. Fine. I shall reveal all after you cook, so I'll just let you get cooking. I'll go away and taste some wines.
Okay, you better go then.
I will.
Okay. Well, I'm going to get started, and the first thing I need is a piece of beef fillet. It's very, very tender and giving cut and soft, so this is the kind of really what you want to use. Cut it into nice long bits, make some little stacks. So now I want some shallot. Here's a banana shallot, of which I'm going to take half. Cut small, small, minuscule, microscopic, small as you can. About a quarter of a shallot in there. These are little baby capers commonly thought to be from the nasturtium. They're not, they're actually from the caper plant, which is a salty little seaside bush. I've got about a heaped teaspoon in there, and that can go in whole. They're so small that they don't need chopping. Then some chilli, some good, deep, slightly throaty dried chilli. So a small piece of that. Chop it very finely again. Now I'm going to add some black pepper, some walnut oil, quite a good dash of walnut oil. And I'm going to add some lemon juice. Squeeze it through your hands. You don't want pips in there. And then I'm going to add some salt. And now our star players are going to come into their own. The Parma ham, which I'm going to line a ramekin with a little of the ham. Then take the beef and press it in. Don't pull the fat off the Parma ham. After all, that's one of the best bits of it. So then fold everything in nice and neatly. Now I'm going to get a plate. Turn this little chappy out now. In another bowl, I've got some delicious lamb's lettuce. Tiny bit of salt. A little bit of olive oil, not walnut oil. Just a little splash, just to grease it ever so slightly. And a little twist of lemon juice. And take a few of these little lamb's lettuce heads. And then, last but by no means least, the Parmigiano Reggiano. I want some nice long curling slices. And there with the last piece of cheese. So there you have it. Beef tartare wrapped in a little Parma ham with some Parmigiano Reggiano on top and surrounded by a little lamb's lettuce salad. It's simple, it's very tasty, and very easy to do. Christina, there you have it.
Haha, the big reveal. That looks absolutely beautiful,
Good.
Valentine. The only thing that I think would make it more beautiful is a perfectly matched wine. So,
What have you brought with
I've
you?
thought long and hard. I've tasted many, many wines, and I have come up with, I think, the perfect match. I could have gone with a white, even with a full-bodied white. I could have gone with a light, delicate Pinot Noir. But I have to say, I'm not a delicate woman. I like my wines the way I like my men, big and bold with a bit of finesse. So I have gone with a wine from the Douro Valley in Portugal. Now, have you been to the Douro Valley? I'm just going to open it for us.
No, I haven't. I've never been to Portugal.
Oh, you are missing out. So the Douro Valley is located just north of Porto. It's an absolutely stunning region. Alto Douro has been named a World Heritage Site in 2001. It's a beautiful, beautiful place. Perhaps more famously known for its fortified wines being port. This is where all port is made, but it's actually it creates equally as lovely unfortified red wines with the same grape varieties. So the Portuguese are really great about using native grape varieties. These are varieties like Touriga Nacional, Tinta Roriz, Tinta Cao, Tinta Barraca, and usually they're in a big blend. Now, it's pretty tricky to make a blended wine. I think almost more difficult than a single varietal, and that's because it's like being a chef. So it really takes a good winemaker to be able to blend all of these in to get just the right balance.
And to maintain something that it becomes known for.
Exactly, absolutely. But you're seeing sometimes Touriga Nacional used more on its own as well, but most of the time in Portugal they are pretty big blends. I'll be polite and pour yours first.
That's very delicious indeed. And delicious in its own right. So what I'm very interested to see if it's going to kind of stand up with this raw beef dish.
Well, I think we have talked about it long enough. I think we should dig in. So let's have a little taste. That's delicious. What I was hoping that there would be enough acidity and tannins to live up to all of those beefy, meaty flavors in there, the saltiness of the ham, the rich creaminess of the Parmigiano Reggiano, but also that it would just be nice and fruity and easy to drink with all of those complex flavors in your beautiful beef tartare with Parma ham and Parmigiano Reggiano.
Well, everything you've said is right. You've gone out there, you found a great wine, which does go very well with the beef and the ham and the cheese. And eating this and drinking the wine, it's kind of, I feel like I'm on holiday sitting in a shaded Portuguese square and I feel very happy.
Sounds beautiful
Thank
right
you.
about now. Thank you. Cheers.